All right, you guys. Hi again. Okay, back to the tertiary basalt and contained fossilized wood found in central Queensland, Australia. You guys, okay, so I started looking into the trees, stone trees. These are trees. They're not, I mean, they contain wood. Obviously, I just wanted to show you because they usually don't show, it in print. And I misspoke earlier that I only believe what I see in this, written down. I believe nothing that I see written down. I believe my own experience, my visual experience using my senses and my intuition to find documents, but usually if you look hard enough, you're going to find these documents support your theory. And, I don't know what they're doing in Antarctica, but there's a lot of information about it on many different sites, many different government sites. Agriculture sites for the federal government, archaeology sites for the federal government. There's a lot about it, but I haven't really dug into that because I was looking at something else. But there's somebody online, his name is Wise Up, and he's showing things that, it's just obvious to anybody watching that it's true. It's just true. They weren't carving buildings, in some kind of, primitive way. The buildings that we're finding are actually the remnants of a different civilization. And there was a giant flood. Whether that's Noah or, I'm not pretending to know what that is. But again, consistent with terrestrial plant organic carbon, right? Fossilized wood found entombed in a tertiary basalt flow. It's not a basalt flow. It's actually a tree. So you have to still, like, when you're seeing these documents, like that time I got the documents from Boeing, you have to read through it and understand that they're claiming that this is a tree. Entombed in a tertiary basalt flow. You can look up each of these words and then look them up in other languages if you want to. But I guarantee this is saying something that, what is basalt flow? I guess they're saying it's a volcano. Basalt flow. Okay, supposedly basalt flows that look nothing like these giant columns that are actually trees create, this kind of wiggly line. Basalt flows are non-eruptive and characterized by relatively low viscosity. And then go back to this. Okay, fossilized wood found inside a basalt flow. Okay, no basalt flow looks like this. It does look like this. It doesn't look like this. And it doesn't look like this. This is a tree. This is the remnants of an ancient tree. And I don't know. I can't pretend to know what happened to this tree. Why are we so small in comparison to these giant trees? But this is a living, was a living organism. And you can see once you know it's a tree, you can look at it like a tree. You can look at it differently. But in no universe would a basalt flow go up into columns and create hexagons. Hexagons are from, honeycomb. they're just in nature. You know, we've seen nature do these these are a way to conserve energy, and they're also found in the interior of trees. So there's no universe where this would turn into this. This is a tree. This, by the way, is Giant's Causeway, if you guys want to go take a look for yourself. Again, they're showing it's basalt lava flow. This is in no universe is this basalt lava flow. This is a tree that was cut. And, you know, we've just been taught these histories that they just have no bearing on the truth of the matter. So you can go look at as many basalt flows as you want, and then come back to me and you tell me what you see visually with your own eyes. Now, I started to think about the pyramids kind of in the same way, because there's a lot of weird stuff, you know, on planet Earth that they claimed was done in a certain way. And then there's pictures. I mean, have you seen the pictures of Stonehenge, when there's actually men building Stonehenge? And that is not what they're claiming is some magical thing. No, it's just to keep us sleeping, you know, keep us sound asleep. Again, this is Columbia River Basalt Group. These are trees, you guys. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know what this is. But let's see what it is. Now, I started to think about these too, like the structures where when you start to get down to it, these aren't carvings. These are trees. And then they made, you know, some kind of, I don't know what you call this type of thing. Something to worship. And I started, you know, when I really got into it, I started looking at the pyramids. And I was, you know, after watching Wise Up's channel, you know, he has a lot of theories about these stones being, you know, some of the stones he believes started with wood, and some he believes the sand were put into bags to build it. But these I started to look at, you know, just with what I know about nature and what I've started to learn about the way these things kind of exist. And I am unclear what this is. You know, I'm unclear if this started out as an organism. And I know that's totally crazy, but I haven't looked into this one enough. They appear to be blocks. But, you know, how did they get the blocks up here? I mean, I do believe there was a different civilization. I mean, a civilization that was larger in scale, larger than us. Wise Up is also pointing out that a lot of these they're wood, but some of them are actually fossils. And that is a pretty interesting theory, and I think he's got a lot to say on the matter that just makes sense to me. And this is on the almighty dollar. It's just, I wonder what this is. I have to look into it a little more. It's weird that Elon Musk keeps coming up. And I do believe that pyramids, you know, like these ancient trees, they might have, maybe they're a construction, I'm not sure. I I haven't looked enough into it, really. But I just started thinking about these, you know, when I was watching Wise Up's channel, because he's showing like these old ruins, and, you know, we're told that the ruins were made a certain way, and he's got a great, you know, it's fossilized wood. And if that's fossilized wood, I started to wonder if this was something like a big thing, not necessarily this one, more the pyramids. Like when you look up Devil's Rock Pile, let's see, I think it's called Devil's Post Pile. Okay, so, you know, you have to use your imagination, right? Turned on its side, looking at those structures. Look at this. Devil's Post Pile. I mean, that was an organic. I mean, that, it just was. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. Devil's Post Pile. Right there. So all the stuff in the museums is trickery. It's to trick us and make us think art is one thing, and that what they found is really what they found. I mean, they're altering these things that they find, and I just find it to be, I don't know why they want so many people asleep. Look at this. I mean, that looks like a blown over tree if I've ever seen one. It looks like a tree that got blown over or cut down or something. I really don't understand if, you know, do military personnel and pilots, you know, do they have real pictures of what's going on in Antarctica? Now you guys got me curious. Once I'm curious, I'm not just gonna easily let it go. Again, that's a tree. And we're so small, you know, comparatively to these giants that I believe existed, that this, you know, we can just be told whatever they tell us. But that is a tree. That's a tree. And I did see an Indian chief talking about this Devil's Tower, saying that Devil's Tower, they don't call it Devil's Tower. They find it disrespectful. This is like the grandmother, you know, the big tree, right? But this isn't the biggest in the world either. I mean, there's huge, huge old remnants of trees. And, you know, when you see something, you can't unsee it. You just can't. Let's see what tribes say about it. They want the name changed because... Let's see what they say about it. I don't know if I can see it because I'm not subscribed. Sorry about that. I'd like to know why they want the name changed and what they want it changed to, but you know, watching one of these Indian chiefs talk about it, they said that that's the grandmother, and they've made it protected land, so we can't dig and find roots, but that is definitely a tree. I mean, I what else can I say? I don't know why they're showing this. That there was they're trying to say that a great woolly mammoth was crawling up here, and these little claws were making, I don't know what they're saying here, but it's absolutely ridiculous. Because that, look at this. It's a tree, you guys. It's not a scratching post. It is a tree.